Hello friends, this video on wave optics part 19 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 18 before going ahead with part 19. The problem says in a Young's double slit experiment, the slits are separated by 0.28 millimeters and the screen is placed 1.4 meters away. So what are the values given? Distance between the slits is 0.28 millimeters. Distance of the screen is capital D, that is 1.4 meters. Distance between the central bright fringe and the fourth bright fringe is measured to be 1.28 centimeters. Let us suppose if the fringe pattern is somewhat like this. It says that let us suppose this is the central bright fringe for n is equal to 0. So when it is talking about the fourth bright fringe, that means n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3 and n is equal to 4. So that means the distance between the central bright fringe and the fourth bright fringe is found to be 1.2 centimeters. So let us try to calculate the position of fourth bright fringe. So what would be the position of the fourth bright fringe? That is x4, which is equal to n lambda capital D divided by small d. Here n is 4. What is lambda? We don't know. So lambda into what is capital D? 1.4 divided by small d, which is 0.28 into 10 to the power minus 3. Right? Now, what is the position of the fourth band? Fourth bright fringe, it is 1.2 centimeter. So x4 is nothing but 1.2 centimeter, which is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters. Therefore, we can say lambda is equal to, lambda is equal to 0.28 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 4 into 1.4. So this comes out to be 600 nanometer. Therefore, the wavelength of light used here is 600 nanometer. Let us look at the next problem. It says, in Young's double slit experiment using monochromatic light of wavelength lambda, the intensity of light at a point on the screen where path difference is lambda is k units. That means where path difference is lambda, you have an intensity of k. What is the intensity of light at a point where path difference is lambda by 3? So when you have a path difference of lambda corresponds to a phase difference of 2 pi. So a path difference of lambda by 3 will correspond to a phase difference of 2 pi by 3. Therefore, the corresponding phase difference is 2 pi by 3. So from coherent and incoherent addition of waves, which we studied before. So from coherent and incoherent addition of waves, what did we find? We found that the intensity becomes equal to 4I naught cos square phi by 2, where phi is the phase difference, right? So from this we can say I is equal to 4I naught cos square pi by 3. So this cos pi by 3 is 1 by 2. So cos square pi by 3 will be 1 by 4. This comes out to be I naught. Now what is I naught? I naught is nothing but, what is I naught? I naught is nothing but the individual intensity of the wave. Right? So individual intensity of the initial wave. Correct? So now we have to calculate what is this I naught. Now in the problem it is given that when a light of wavelength lambda was used, the intensity was k. So that means let us calculate it for path difference. For path difference lambda, what would be the phase difference? The phase difference would be 2 pi. Therefore, what would be the intensity in this case? intensity I dash will be equal to 4 I naught cos square phi by 2, that is 2 pi by 2. So this comes out to be 4 I naught. Therefore, I dash is equal to 4 I naught. Now, what is given in the problem? In the problem, it says that this I dash is equal to k units. Right? So, corresponding to a path difference of lambda, the intensity is given as k. Therefore, we can say that I naught is equal to k by 4. Now, using this was my equation 1. Now, put this value of I naught in equation 1. So what do we get? We get I is equal to k by 4 units. So this is my answer. Right? See, here I have directly used the result which we have obtained from coherent and incoherent addition of waves. So you can also make use of these results. Let us look at the next problem, which says that a beam of light consisting of two wavelengths 650 nanometers and 520 nanometers is used to obtain interference fringes in a Young's double slit experiment. Find the distance of the third bright fringe on the screen from the central maximum for wavelength 650 nanometers. So first let us look at the first part. It says lambda is equal to 650 nanometers, which is 650 into 10 to the power minus 9 meters. Let me call it as lambda 1. We have to calculate the distance of third bright fringe. That means n is equal to 3. So xn is equal to n lambda capital D by small d. What is n? 3 into 650 into 10 to the power minus 9 into capital D by small d. So this comes out to be 1950 into 10 to the power minus 9 into capital D by small d meters. So this is the position of the third bright fringe. The next part asks, what is the least distance from the central maximum where the bright fringes due to both the wavelengths coincide? Okay. So let us suppose that for the second part, let us assume that the nth bright fringe due to lambda 1 coincides with n minus 1th bright fringe due to lambda 2. We have two different wavelengths, so we are assuming that nth bright fringe of lambda 1 coincides with n minus 1th bright fringe due to lambda 2. Or you can assume it the other way around also. You can assume that nth bright fringe due to lambda 1 coincides with the n plus 1th bright fringe due to lambda 2. So in that case, what happens? The position of xn due to lambda 1 will be equal to n lambda capital D by small d, this lambda 1. And what is xn plus 1? That will be n plus 1 into lambda 2 capital D by small d. Right? So now we will equate both. Therefore, n lambda 1 capital D by small d is equal to n plus 1 lambda 2 capital D by small d. So this d's will cancel. So we get n lambda 1 is equal to n lambda 2 plus lambda 2. So from this we can calculate the value of n. So this is n into lambda 1 minus lambda 2 is equal to lambda 2, or n is equal to lambda 2 divided by lambda 1 minus lambda 2. What is lambda 2? Lambda 2 is given as 520 nanometers. So this is 520. What is lambda 1? That is 650 minus 520.
So this comes out to be 520 divided by 130. So this comes out to be 4. Therefore, n is equal to 4, n plus 1 is equal to 5. So what is my result? What did we assume? We assume nth bright fringe due to lambda 1 coincides with n plus 1th bright fringe due to lambda 2. That means 4th bright fringe due to lambda 1. What is lambda 1? Lambda 1 was 650 nanometers. Due to this wavelength coincides with n plus 1th, that is with 5th bright fringe due to 520 nanometers. Right? So what was the question? The problem asked us to find out the least distance from the central maximum where the bright fringes will coincide. So let us calculate the least distance. Least distance is nothing but xn. So what is xn? Xn is x4, that is 4 into lambda 1. So what is lambda 1? That is 650 into capital D by small d. So this comes out to be 2600 capital D by small d meters. So at this much distance from the central maximum, the 4th bright fringe due to lambda 1 will coincide with the 5th bright fringe due to lambda 2. Let us now have a look at problem 4. It says that in a double slit experiment, the angular width of a fringe is found to be 0.2 degrees. So angular width is 0.2 degrees on a screen placed 1.1 meter away. So capital D is 1 meters. Wavelength of light used is 600 nanometers. What will be the angular width of the fringe if the entire experimental apparatus is immersed in water? So we have to find out theta dash such that the refractive index is given as 4 by 3. So what do we know? We know that angular width of a fringe or angular fringe width is nothing but linear fringe width divided by capital D. Right? Now, when in water, when it is placed inside water, what happens to the new fringe width, that is beta dash? So beta dash becomes equal to 1 by n into beta. So the fringe width is inversely proportional to the refractive index of the medium into which the entire apparatus is placed. So this becomes equal to 1 by n into beta. Therefore, what happens to theta dash? Theta dash becomes equal to beta dash by d, and beta dash is beta divided by n into d. And this is equal to 1 by n into beta by d, that is theta. So this is equal to 3 by 4 into theta is 0.2 degrees. So this comes out to be 0.15 degrees. So here the catch of the problem lies in this fact that the fringe width is inversely proportional. As the refractive index of the material medium increases, the fringe width decreases. That's because fringe width depends upon the wavelength of light used, and we know that when the medium becomes denser, the velocity decreases, and velocity has a relation to wavelength, and wavelength in turn has a relation to fringe width. Let us look at the last problem of this section. It says that in a double slit experiment using light of wavelength 600 nanometers, the angular width of a fringe formed on a distant screen is 0.1 degrees. So that means theta is equal to 0.1 degree and the wavelength of light used is 600 nanometers. So this is equal to 600 into 10 to the power minus 9 meters. So we have to calculate the spacing between the two slits, that means small d. So we know that the angular fringe width theta is equal to lambda divided by small d, right? We have already derived this expression. So from this we can say that d is equal to lambda divided by theta. So for that we should convert theta into radians. So this will be 0.1 into pi divided by 180 radians. So this is 0.1 into 3.14 divided by 180 radians. So now we can put these values. It is 600 into 10 to the power minus 9 divided by 0.1 into 3.14 divided by 180. So this comes out to be 3.44 into 10 to the power minus 4 meters. So this is the spacing between the two slits. So now that we have finished our discussion on the phenomenon of interference, it is time that we start with the next phenomenon, that is known as diffraction. Now diffraction and interference, they are very much closely related to each other. The way interference was related to superposition, similarly diffraction is also very closely related to the phenomenon of interference. So let us see what small differences exist between the phenomenon of interference and the phenomenon of diffraction. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.